All right, hey, what's up, everybody? I'm Mike Lindsley. I am back here at the Brewerton Diner getting ready to dive into some breakfast, and I wanted to quickly give you 9 minutes with me in terms of the NFL playoffs here on IGTV, Facebook, and YouTube. Make sure you get here to the Brewerton Diner. You're in and around Central New York, just off the Bartell Road exit. They've got just an unbelievable array of great menu items. Their breakfasts are out of this world. Let me give you a quick sneak peek on it. You can get hashes and wraps. You can get omelets and scrambles. You can get a Brewerton Benedict on Texas toast, slathered with bacon gravy. They've got 2 over easy eggs. You can add some ham to it to make it more like a Benedict. You can get a breakfast omelet, a bunch of other stuff. Their hashes are incredible. I mentioned those just now, and not your classic hash is my favorite. The deli sliced corned beef, onions, cheddar cheese, and home fries. I always add a scrambled egg to it. This place is great. Get here for lunch as well. Brewerton Burger, Hero, Philly Steak, you name it, they've got it here at the Brewerton Diner, right off of Bartell Road in Brewerton, the official diner of the ML Sports Platter. All right, well, look, the conference championship games are this Sunday in the NFL. We have the Chiefs hosting the Patriots and the Rams visiting the Saints in the NFC. How did we get here? Well, I think when we go, game by game and storyline by storyline, I think you start with the Colts-Chiefs game. I think the Chiefs defense finally came to play, and it was the first time that the Colts offensive line really got manhandled in about 10 or 11 weeks. And, we've talked all year about complete football teams. I've always thought it was, New England and New Orleans and the Chargers, complete football teams. Kansas City, one of those teams as well. But, you kind of needed the defense to do something in order to make it a complete team. You knew the potential was there. You knew Justin Houston, once he was healthy, was going to do some damage. You knew that the potential was there with the KC Chiefs. But now that you've seen it, they dominated a playoff game. They dominated a great offensive line and a great quarterback. Phenomenal stuff from the Chiefs defense. They ran the ball all over the place. Williams was great. Mahomes was good enough with, I think 278 yards through the air. He did throw it about 41 times, but was good enough. And the Chiefs played an all-around football game in blasting the Colts. Meantime, the Patriots do what the Patriots do in January. Brady, Belichick, Foxborough, playoffs, can't beat them. I mean, they're just unbelievable. It's a well-oiled machine, and the Chargers look like a very, very tired group. I just don't understand why they didn't stay on the East Coast after the Ravens game. I just don't understand it. This is a situation where you could have been on the East Coast body clock. They wake up on Sunday morning after flying a couple days beforehand. They get there. They've got to deal with waking up on a 10 a.m. body clock in terms of what time zone they're used to. New England, 2 weeks to prepare for the Chargers. Come on, Belichick versus Anthony Lynn, Brady versus Rivers in big games. Are you kidding me? Foxborough, January, cold weather. Come on. I mean, anybody who thought the Chargers were going to win this game, I questioned that prediction like no tomorrow. I didn't think the Chargers could go in there and win. And frankly, I'm going to keep picking New England until they lose. I mean, that's just how it goes. Although I'm kind of coin flipping the Patriots and Chiefs this weekend. And by the way, Kansas City hosting its first ever AFC title game and finally won a playoff game for the first time since 1994 when a guy by the name of Joe Montana was in the twilight of his career quarterbacking the KC Chiefs. So New England looks super dangerous. New England's been dangerous for a couple of weeks. They are a complete team as well. These are the 2 best, most complete teams in the AFC, and I don't think there's a question. Obviously, it's led by Tom Brady. New England is led by Tom Brady and Bill Belichick, but you've got Edelman making plays. You've got Sony Michel running the football. McDaniels devises plans offensively, to really trick defenses. And that is a good Charger defense. Make no mistake about it. Joey Bosa and company, Melvin Ingram. But the problem for the LA Chargers was that, they pressed up. They tried different edge blitzes and all the rest. Didn't work. New England's offensive line spaced itself out, and Tom Brady gets rid of the ball extremely fast to his respective teammates. So New England does what New England does. Brady, Belichick, playoffs, January, cold weather, win. That's all they do. Meantime, in the NFC, great effort from the Philadelphia Eagles. It just wasn't enough against the New Orleans Saints. I picked all 4 home teams to win this past weekend, which all 4 did. Not saying that I'm an intelligent guy or a genius here at picking or that I know more than anybody else, but the reality is that I just thought that all the home teams, it really came down to, first and foremost, all of those home teams were just better than the away teams. They were just better teams and more complete clubs. Kansas City, again, we were kind of wondering if they could play great defense at home, great defense in general. They did that, and all the home teams really persevered. And it was no different for New Orleans, a team that, look, they were down 14-0 early to the Philly Eagles. The Eagles picked Drew Brees off on the first play. They throw it down the field, score a touchdown. Foles then runs it in. It's 14-0. You're thinking, holy macro, but you knew Sean Payton could adjust, and you know one thing too. Not only is it hard for the New Orleans Saints, not only is it hard to beat the Saints in their home stadium of the Superdome, it's very hard to blow them out on the road. When you're on the road at the Superdome, very, very difficult to win, but more difficult to blow them out. If you're in your backyard and you're up 14-0, maybe some things start to spiral out of control for the road team. The Saints look different when they're not at home. Not the case. Sean Payton makes all the adjustments in this game, and they score a touchdown. They hang around. It's 14-10. Fine, they took the huge chance in the second quarter with the 4th down on the punt fake. I love that call. You go up the middle, you get the 1st down. It changes the game. It changes the complexion. The Saints go ahead and get a touchdown on a really, really long drive, 92 yards, I think it was, in the 3rd quarter. They take the lead. Eagles had a chance to win it in the end, but they couldn't muster up enough, and obviously the ball, what a brutal break for Philly as they're driving down. Perfect throw from Foles to Alshon Jeffrey, goes right through his hands, picked off by Marcus Lattimore, and that's it. But the Eagles were also hurting defensive line. They were hurting big time. Fletcher Cox was out. A couple other guys were banged up. This was just a tough game for Philadelphia to go in and win, but I give them a lot of credit. They did fight tooth and nail. They were left for dead weeks ago. Wentz goes down. Foles comes in. They win enough games to get to the postseason. They win a playoff game, of course, and we'll see what happens here in the future with the Nick Foles, Carson Wentz quarterback situation. Should be fascinating to watch. You can't pay them both. Got to keep one and probably get rid of the other. Meantime, final one, Rams over the Cowboys. This was a game. Look, Dallas had a lot of fans in L.A., but I just, again, thought that the L.A. Rams were a better team than the Dallas Cowboys. A lot more difference makers, power offense, and the Chargers, a team that couldn't run the football against New England. They were the only team that really couldn't run the ball successfully over the weekend in terms of the victorious teams. Wow, different story for the L.A. Rams. You're getting 200-plus yards out of C.J. Anderson and Todd Gurley. It sets up Jared Goff nicely. He had just under 200 yards throwing in this game. He didn't have to be spectacular. The ground game was unbelievable, and then Goff hit people where he needed to. And can you say enough about the best defensive player in the NFL and Aaron Donald? My God, 2 more sacks for this guy, blasting through the Cowboys' offensive line. I thought the one area that Dallas had a real shot, actually 2 areas. One, spying Jared Goff and spying Todd Gurley in terms of their fast, speedy linebackers, including Leighton Vander Esch. That was one area where I thought they could neutralize the Rams' offense. I never thought that the Rams would run the football the way they did. And then the other one was obviously the offensive line trying to get Zeke Elliott going, which then allows Dak Prescott to have success. I think Dak Prescott played a great game against the Rams. I thought he was super efficient, super accurate. I don't know if you pay him long term, but boy, I'm closer to thinking that way, the way he played this season and against the Rams as well. But just too much Rams, too much Saints, too much Pats, and too much Chiefs. And so we get set for the AFC title game this weekend, as well as the NFC title game. That's a conference championship Sunday. I'll have a preview later in the week on video here. 9 minutes with me on those 2 games via IGTV, YouTube, and Facebook. I'm Mike Lindsley, getting set to check out the menu. Going to grab some breakfast here at the Brewerton Diner. Make sure you get here. They have specials every single day. Try the French toast for breakfast as well. Make sure you hit me on Twitter at Mike L Sports, and of course, download my podcast, the ML Sports Platter, on Spotify, Google Podcasts, and Apple Podcasts, the ML Sports Platter. As I always tell you, enjoy the games.